And before this man can even talk, I'm actually going to kick this one off because Pies is probably so excited for this one. And so I want to give him a chance to actually just have some fun chatting. So we do have that classic grappler versus striker in Chris Daukaus versus Aleksei Oleinik. And bro, how excited are you? Because I'll get technical about it, but I know you're going to pump me up for the rest of this card because of how much you love Chris. So like, just give it to me.
Oh man, you know I'm thrilled for this one. Look at this card, man. If even two of these fights can perform to their potential, it's going to be
or show up. Like if as long as these guys are healthy and can make it happen, you know, everyone's praying for you guys. Like honestly,
this is true. A lot can happen in the next 8 to 9 days for sure. So we got Aleksei Oleinik here versus Chris Daukaus. First thing that stands out to me, fucking 59 wins, dude. Are you kidding me?
Legend, bro. Just do this.
How have you even fought 60 times, man?
You know, he's earned this from both of us.
Literally all you
both
can
of us
do
do this for a quick second. Both of us do this for a quick second. And yeah, like he's an absolute Russian legend.
Legend, man. Legend. What a record. 59, 14-1. Just dirty, man. Entered the UFC back in 2014. Has gone 8-5 since, and against all the top dudes in the division, man. His wins against Mo Green, Mark Hunt, so many more. You look at those losses, man. Walt Harris, Overeem. And the two dudes that we see headlining this event, Curtis Blaydes, Derrick Lewis. Crazy, man. He's fought the best of the best.
Best.
What a way to segue into Blaydes Lewis is to get this treat, right?
Right. It's so true. Like, and that's the best part. Like, you broke it down really well. Like, for me, like, this man is, like, his nickname, right? Is it still the boa constrictor? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the boa constrictor, right?
Yeah.
So, like, he literally names himself after a snake. Like, this man is a grappling wizard when it comes to MMA, right? Like, that is his forte. He walks through the punches and he looks for that spot. I mean, against the wrong guys, the wrong things happen. But that's his game plan. And a lot of the time it works. But obviously, a lot of the time, especially at some of this level, it doesn't happen so well sometimes.
Yeah, and let's be real here. At age 43 and 70 fights deep, I don't really see you changing your style too much.
Well, yeah, like, when Tapology gets to list your Walt Harris loss, who is actually, like, at the time a 12-7 fighter, as a loss via flying knee and left cross in 12 seconds, like Walt Harris built a career off of that.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely, man. And so, on the flip side, we got Chris Daukaus, He's making a name for himself. Very excited to see him back in the ring. 10-3 record, gone 2-0 in the UFC. We do remember that KO against Parker Porter, I believe. That was a big one. And the other one against Rodrigo Nasimento.
Nasimento killed that. He killed that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Absolutely. And both of them, KOs in the first round. So, Daukaus throws. We know this, man. And to see these guys' differing style, it's going to be a treat, man. Who can execute their game plan better?
And so that's the thing with Daukaus, right? Like, the one thing that everyone's raving about is just how quick he looks for a heavyweight. He almost has the striking and the stature of, like, a middleweight in a weird way. And, like, the guy's a police officer in real life, I was going to say. But, like, I mean, yeah, like, he's built for tough, if you will. Like, I really think that's what scares me if I'm Aleksei Oleinik, because of the way that you like to walk through punches. Unfortunately, very good strikers have been able to kind of find ways to pick you apart. And now Daukaus seems like a fairly smart guy, right? Like, if I'm game planning now, why wouldn't I be considering, just making sure that I think his striking, based on what I've seen so far, is good enough to go into this fight as is. So I'm going hard at my grappling all training camp if I'm fighting Aleksei Oleinik. I truly believe his striking will stand up no matter what. So it's that side of things that kind of scares me, because, like, yeah, if he can stay on the feet, this might be his fight within a few rounds, right? His speed of punches, the way he throws those quick combos, like, it's just very uncharacteristic of a heavyweight. And people are just so excited to watch him fight now because we've seen it do it twice. That Nasimento fight, he's such a big name out of the American top team camp. But in reality, like, He was an 8-0 fighter going into that fight. We saw how far back his striking is, at least for the UFC level, or even for an MMA level, I think. But in this fight, it's a little different, right? I think Oleinik has been in there with some of the best guys in the world. He's also known that striking is probably where I need to put my time. Every fight starts standing, right? So I'm a little concerned with just that part of it because, if Oleinik does get this fight to the ground, you're going to see Chris Daukaus kind of experience a human snake. Yeah.
He'll be in some trouble for sure. So honestly, man, that's going to be very tough to call because it literally comes down to who can execute their game better, right?
Exactly.
So, let's dive into the line here. Who do you see being the favorite in this one?
And you said it best. It is going to come down to who executes the game plan best. I believe the fight starts standing, and Daukaus's striking is so hyped right now, and Oleinik's struggles against good strikers at the UFC level, and given his age and recency bias, it's like you got to go Daukaus. Now, I just think that Vegas will be smart enough to not give the full line there, and so I like, what I mean, like those minus 200. Like, there's just no way you can put this man there. It's tough based on what you have on paper, and so I think they have to go with strikers as they always do, and so I'm going with a minus 150 line on Chris Daukaus.
Let's give him the bell, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give him the bell. Not a showcase showdown, but within the 50 basis points, he is a minus 188 favorite.
Wow.
Right near that minus 200. Yeah, and it's creeping. It's creeping.
Yeah, so Pies, I mean, you know what? I think that I just don't see Oleinik getting that much better in the striking department to at least... He's just way better than Rodrigo Nasimento. That's kind of where I put things. Do you know what I mean? So I just don't think that Doc is going to look as dominant as he is. And so me and Vegas agree on that. But that line, Daukaus was a pretty big dog, no? Like, he was a plus 180 or something. Because I remember Rodrigo being in that minus 2 something late range. So
yeah.
And so unfortunately, it's just like you've smartened up. I think you smartened up because exponentially better fighter, I would say, at least maybe in their primes, Oleinik versus Nasimento.
Oh, for sure.
But obviously the lines have adjusted based on what Chris Daukaus has looked like. And like I said, when the striking of a fighter is hyped that much, Vegas is listening because people will also bet based on strikers. You knock a few guys out, like, people fall in love with you. So
yeah. For sure. And I think you touched on it beautifully, right? You don't go from being a plus 205 dog versus an inferior opponent to now being a near minus 200 favorite against a dude like Oleinik who's seen it all. You know what I mean? That is some serious bump he is getting if you're comparing lines.
And that's where you have to kind of like, where do we judge it? Like, you've watched him fight a couple of times now. I mean, hey man, that striking is very real. He made Parker Porter look like that in their fight, but look how Parker Porter looked in his last fight.
Rebounded from that.
So it's just really funny because, like, if you ask me, am I excited? Because unbiasedly speaking, this is one of the best UFC prospects at the heavyweight division I've seen in a very long time. I kind of wanted to, improve the athleticism just a tad, but like, how can you say that when the guy punches that quickly? It's weird because like he wears his bad weight well. Like, it's just really funny because like maybe the man just loves to eat. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just loves to eat and he loves to fight, and he wears the heavyweight frame pretty well for a guy that looks like he should probably be maybe 30 to 40 pounds less. Maybe.
He has the Harden syndrome, man. Likes to lull you to sleep and still somehow blows by you looking heavy. So.
I live and die by that. That's so good.
Man. So yeah, we're gonna be in a real treat for that one. Like Siraj said, man, the fight starts standing. So you got to give the edge to Daukaus there. If he can keep that fight standing, that should be his to lose for sure.
I totally agree, man. And that's where I actually see it being kind of the way it goes, because I just think Oleinik is a little bit too old to withstand that level of striking. It's going to be a lot of volume, which is a little different, and if he doesn't keep his guard up, it's going to be tough. Yeah,
for sure. So, safe to say we are pumped for this one. UFC Vegas 19 takes place next Saturday, headlined by our boy, the Black Beast, taking on Curtis Blaydes. We got a bunch of beauty heavyweight fights on that card, so I'm super pumped for it. that wraps it up today. If you haven't already done so, smash that like button, hit that bell button, give us that subscribe, the follow. All our Instagram, Twitter is all there. Any questions, comments you guys have, just send them our way. Anything else, Siraj?
I mean, just be ready. Like, we keep pumping this fight up, but be ready for a 5-round wrestling match where Curtis Blaydes isn't able to finish this man, and Derek Lewis isn't able to get off his back after 3 rounds, and you're just watching a guy get taken down for 5 rounds. So just be ready for that as well.
Yeah. Nice little disclaimer there, my man. Yeah. Always a pleasure, dude. Take care.
You too, my guy. Take care.